Today we are going to be learning how to do a crop top with gathered skirt. Crop top is gathered skirt. Crop top, it means the length of the blouse will start from the shoulder and end a little bit below the waist. Okay, so I'm making this for a client. The shoulder of the client is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8, plus half inch for joining at the shoulder, for joining to the sleeve. So that's 8.5. So I'll mark my 8.5. On this part, I'll mark shoulder to my chest line, which is 9 inches. From shoulder 9 inch plus half inch that I'll be joining. Or better say, I can leave that now. When I'm done and shaping, I'll be shaping that. But for now, I'll be marking 9 inch. Shoulder to chest line 9 inch. Shoulder to bust point 12 inch, sorry, 12 inch. And then so the actual shoulder to bust point is 11.5, so that's why I drag my tape back to 11.5. and then I'll mark shoulder to waist. A shoulder to waist is 17. Okay, so I just want this to come down a little bit, like let me say 3 inches from that waist, so that's 20. And then the remaining thing that is here is 2 inch, so I'll be using that to fold in like so. So I want to get straight line on those parts. This is my shoulder to chest, so you can work with your own measurement. Shoulder to bust. In this type of style, you don't need shoulder to under bust because you are not doing any tightening or contouring. So there's shoulder to bust, and then shoulder to waist. Shoulder to waist, and then the length of the top. So notice that this line doesn't look straight, so I want to cross check all my measurements. So this one is not correct, and then it should be 12, and then I'll bring down 11.5, mark 17, and then 20. So I have to reconnect like that. I have to reconnect all the lines. So after reconnecting my line, the next thing I want to do is to mark the shoulder measurement that I marked up here. I mark it on the chest line, which is 8.5, like so. Then I'll connect it with a straight line this way. So this will turn to our arm size later. So before then, for the shoulder slope, I'll come down by 1 inch for the back, 1.5 for the front. I'm cutting both the front and the back together. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So what I did is I used the bust measurement plus additional 3 inches for this fold. So I folded this way, and then again I folded this way. So this will be enough for what I need. So this will be enough for all that I need for the crop top. Okay, so I'm cutting both the back and the front at the same time, and then I'll come to this folded edge. All these parts are folded, all these parts are open. So I'll mark 3 inches on the shoulder line, 3 inches, and then I'll connect this 1 inch and 1.5 inch slope to that point like so. Have this, connect them to the neck width. Okay, after that I'll get the midpoint using the back 1 inch slope. So this is 8 inches, then the midpoint is 4, so I'll go in by half. That will be for the back, and then 0.75 for the front. And then the next thing I will do is to measure all the round measurements. So the first one is 42 divided by 4 So 2 divided by 4, this is 42. I first of all divide into 2, so I have 21, and then I'll further divide that 21 into 2, so that gives me 10 and a half. Okay, 10 and a half. Now I'll be adding ease to it, and then the sewing allowance, that's 2 inch, that is 1 inch for ease. There's not going to be zipper on this crop top, so that's why I'm putting as much as 1 inch for the ease. So 1 inch for each ease and 1 inch for the seam allowance. So this is the measurement I'm going to mark all through. I'm not going to shape on any waist or anything. That's what I will be using all through. So we have 10. So I'm using the bust measurement for both the waist and the bust part. So that's what we will mark all through. So I feel this is too wide. So okay, so it's too wide for me. So it's too much for any allowance. So I'll just use 2 inch. I'm using 2 inch for that. I want it to be a bit bold. So I'll connect that line, and then put the bust measurement as we use it all through. 10 and a half, and then 2 inch for allowance. Okay, so I will just connect those lines straight like that. Okay, it's going to be a very free crop top, so I want to connect all this, the ½ inch to the back slope, the 0.75 to the front slope, and then connect everything back to the armhole. So this become our arm size. Okay, and then for the neck is a free top, no zipper, so I must make the neck open enough to enter the neck. So I'll be doing 4 inch for the neck width, and then for the neck depth I'll be doing 3.5 inches. 4 inches by 3.5 inches. So you can do whatever you prefer, but I prefer this so that it will be comfortable for my client to wear. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to cut. So we are cutting both the front and the back together, and they both have the same neckline because it's a free top without zipper. So I need to make it as open as possible so that the client will be able to wear it. Okay. So I'm cutting the back first. Cut out the excess down here too. And then I will notch this part to show when I'm joining that this is the hemming allowance. So it's going to be standing this way by the time I'm done. Okay, so how do you join? Join shoulder to shoulder, join the 1 inch allowance, 1 inch allowance, fold the 2 inch allowance up, and then with your bias you can turn the neck, or if you like you might want to put lining. So what you will do is just that you cut the lining exactly the length, not with the allowance. So you just sew it to the end of the hem here, and then you turn it up. Use it to turn the neck, and then make sure you have a place to remove it, to turn everything out before you put the sleeve. So that is that about that. So the next thing is the sleeve. I already cut what will be enough also for the sleeve. The length of the sleeve of this my client is 10 inches. So I measure more than 10 inch plus all the joining allowance to the armhole and the arm size and then the folding. So I measure more than that, unfold this way, and then I'm folding because I want to be cutting the two sleeves together. So like this. So and the first thing I will do is to put the cap height of this my client. So our cap height is 4 inch. So to get your cap height, just divide your bust by 12 and add 1 inch to it. So whatever your answer is what you are putting, sorry, for the cap height. So that is our home cap height. And then I'm connecting that. So the next thing I want to do is to put a shoulder measurement, which is 8. This time around I'm not adding that half inch I added on the shoulder measurement. So this is 8. Our shoulder is 16 divided by 2, 8. So and then from that 8 I'll connect it to this tip of this folded part like so. So I'll connect it this way. Okay, after connecting this way, then this my line now, this slant line, I want to get the midpoint. So I have 8.8, so I want to get the half of that. Okay, and then that's I'll mark that on this slant line, and then I want to connect it to this place like so. So remember we added 2 inch. Okay, connect this first and then connect it back to this part like this. And then remember we added 2 inch to our measurement, so I'll be adding the same 2 inch, so that 1 inch will be for the piece that we added there, and then the other will be for seam allowance. And then down here I will just measure around sleeve there is 14, so that's 7, and then I'll add 2 inch also to it because it's not fitted there, it's a bit loose. And then I'll connect them this way and then cut. So cutting this way. Okay, so for this skirt is a long skirt and my client is tall. Our skirt length is 46 and I want this skirt to be high waist, or the style she's sent to me is high waist skirt. So I'll be using, African print maximum is 45.5 per for the length. So I'll be using the whole of it plus the hemming allowance, joining to the band. It will have band because I want to get to our natural waist, so it's high waist skirt. So I am using 3 yards for her. She's tall and a bit big, so I'm using 3 yards of fabric. Okay, so I'll put this aside. Now for the band, I don't want to use the elastic band that will just cut straight, so I want a fitted band for it. It used to give that kind of, you'll be able to make some effect on it that will be better on the person. Okay, so what I did is our waist is 33, our natural waist is 33 inches, so I divided that by 2. So you can see my paper, I folded into 2 like this, and then I mark half of that 33 divided by 4. So that's the measurement I have here, that's 8.25. So after that I got the midpoint of that 8.25, which is 4.1. This is the line I marked here. And then at the end like this, at the side, so this becomes the side. At the side I just went up by 0.5, and then I connect that with a slant, not too much curve, to the midpoint. That's from here to here. That's what you're seeing. And then I want the band to be as high as 2 inches. So the standard is 1.5. I just want a bit extra, so that's 2 inch for the band. So I marked it 2 inch like this, and then I connected from the midpoint to the center front. So this is the center front. Now on fold, I folded it. You might not even fold, but I folded it because I don't want too much stress like that. So I folded it center front, and this is the side front. So from this upper waist, because the upper waist is a bit smaller than the down waist like that, so on this part I went in by 0.5 or 0.4. So I went in there, and then I connect this point to this point, and then that is all about the band. So I'll cut it out now. I'll cut it out, and then I'll be using this. Once I finish cutting this on my fabric, I will use it to cut the back band, but I'll just add zipper allowance to it. I'll add zipper allowance to it, and then I believe you should be able to fix your band on your skirt. So this becomes the front band, so I'll be using it to cut the back. So this is the after cutting this on fabric, I'll just place it on another fabric, leaving 1 inch for zipper allowance at this center part. So this part will now become the center CB for the back, and then I will add a half or 0.75 inch to this side, half inch up here, half inch up here. This half inch is to join to the main fabric, and then the half inch is to sew it, because you're going to be cutting 2 of this, and then for the back you will cut 4 pieces, because you need it to be like facing that you will use to finish up that part. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can see each time we post video. Thank you.